Hello, my dear listeners. Welcome to the latest episode. Today, I want to talk about the top 10 email marketing do's and don'ts. And this is kind of precipitated by the news from Google and Yahoo, who are the world's largest mailbox providers, that they're going to require senders that send more than 5,000 messages a day to have their DMARC policies included in their DNS. It's a technical term, technical issues. If you are not sure, you need to contact your IT guy and make sure that you have the DMARC policies in your DNS. But this news just brought up the importance of email marketing and how you need to do email marketing right. And so I just thought I'd present some of my thoughts on the top 10 email marketing do's and don'ts. Email marketing can be a very valuable way to reach your audience. I mean, the stats on this are just amazing. HubSpot has a really good article on the ultimate list of email marketing stats for 2023. Google that and go to that article. You'll find some amazing stats on that. For instance, email marketing generates $42 for every $1 that you spend. That's an astounding number. So that means you need to be able to do email marketing really well. And in this podcast, I go over the 5 do's and the 5 don'ts. So a total of 10 do's and don'ts for this episode. So I'm going to talk about the things that you need to do to build a quality mailing list, how you can personalize your messages, how you can craft compelling subject lines, and optimizing for mobile and all that kind of stuff. So this is a jam-packed episode. I actually talk quite fast because I want to cover a lot of information in this episode. Take a listen, implement these tips and tricks that I share with you, and you're going to get a lot out of your email marketing. So with that said, let's get started. Welcome to the latest episode of Corner Your Market. I'm your host, Silas Kimide. In this podcast, I talk about all things digital marketing, from website design and development to SEO and PPC, as well as paid advertising, email marketing, social media, and anything in between. If you're a small business owner, a marketing manager in a company, or an entrepreneur, this podcast is for you. So tune in every Thursday at 10 a.m. You'll gain some practical insights, new strategies, tactics, and tools that will help you grow your business. To subscribe, go to corneryourmarketpodcast.com and select the podcast app of your choice. Then you can hit subscribe within those apps. That again is corneryourmarketpodcast.com. Also, don't forget to like and share our individual episodes. You can also leave a review in the app once you've listened to one of our episodes. Last October 3rd, 2023 to be exact, Google and Yahoo announced that they're going to now require bulk senders of email messages to have DMARC in place beginning February 2024. Now, a lot of people probably don't know what DMARC is, but it's a piece of code, I guess, or a snippet that's in your DNS, your domain name server records attached to your domain. And so there's a lot of, if you ever go into your website, your domain, and you look at the DNS records, you'll see all kinds of entries in there. One of them is DMARC, and DMARC is basically an identifying thing. I'm not exactly sure how to explain it. I just know the where it goes and all that kind of stuff. I don't know the technicalities of it, and that's not the point of this podcast. I just bring this up because if you send 5,000 messages a day or more into either of the world's largest mailbox providers, that is Google and Yahoo, I mean, 5,000 seems like a lot, but if you have an email list and you're doing email marketing, that's really not a lot. So if you're sending 5,000 messages a day, then you're going to need DMARC policy in place for your DNS. And they must be aligned to standards. And, so it might seem like a lot, but it probably isn't. And because this is almost like a canary in the coal mine, Google and Yahoo announcing this means that it's only a matter of time before this becomes a requirement for, other mailbox providers, and also for fewer email addresses. And this is going to be a standard because the aim here is to cut down on phishing, spam, and all those kinds of things. So it's a move in the right direction for the consumer. From a marketing perspective, it's going to be, as long as you're in alignment, you should be fine. So it's actually going to cut out the malicious people. It should, at least on paper. So I bring this up because today I'm talking about the top 10 email marketing do's and don'ts, and this is a timely and relevant news item that I figured that I'd bring up and lead with. But today, what I want to do is talk about email marketing as a cost-effective way for you to reach out to potential customers and increase your sales. Obviously, if you've been using email marketing or you've been thinking about using email marketing, there's a lot of things that you can do with email marketing, there's a lot of benefits. That's why people do it. You can send personalized content. You can collect feedback. You can do surveys. You can send offers. You can, educate your audience. It's awesome. It's a great way to generate traffic for your website. You can send timely information out there. You can figure out a way to increase lead intake, referrals. There's a lot you can do with email marketing, right? So by leveraging email marketing, you can actually build a relationship with your audience that you can't normally do in other mediums. And so that's why it's been such a powerful medium. It's one of the most effective digital marketing tactics, and not a lot of people talk about it or find it exciting, but HubSpot has some great numbers. If you do a Google search for the ultimate list of email marketing stats for 2023, a HubSpot article will show up and it gives you some amazing stats. Like for instance, email generates $42 for every $1 you spend in the email marketing campaign. So that's a stunning return on your investment. And 89% of marketers use email marketing. So a lot of people are using it. And email marketing, the revenue you generate from email marketing is almost 11 billion at the end of 2023. So it's just a great channel. That doesn't mean that people are doing it well or you know how to do it. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. And it's not just for B2B either. I've seen numbers, again, same article from HubSpot has some great stats on the B2B email marketing stats. 81% of B2B marketers say their most used form of content marketing is email newsletter. That's amazing. That's from 2020. 81%. That's a pretty big number. There's a lot of B2B marketers out there, and with 81% of them using email marketing, that's fantastic. But then, 14.3% of all emails go missing or have been caught by popular spam filters. So not everybody's doing it right. Or there's malicious characters, or is that a word? I think that's a word. I don't know if that's a descriptor, but, and then, B2B marketers use it to announce new products, new features, all kinds of stuff. So, and automation, with the automation platforms that are out there, it's a no-brainer to use email in so many situations. So, however, on the flip side, B2B buyers and consumers feel overwhelmed by the volume of emails, and 67% set up a junk email account to dodge unwanted emails. I'm one of those people. I pretty much use my Hotmail account as a junk email account, although I've kind of gotten back into my Hotmail account a little bit, but Gmail is my main account. Hotmail is my junk account. And I also have another junk account with Yahoo. So yeah, I've been trying to manage email for well over almost 2 decades. Just the volume is just intense. I'm a zero inbox guy, so I don't like too many emails in my inbox. I go through the FAT system, FAT, file it, act on it, or toss it. So I try to do that. And then, anyway, it's overwhelming. So let's talk a little bit about email marketing today. I want to share the top 10 email marketing do's and don'ts. We covered this on the New Wine Digital blog as well. So you can read the actual blog post on this, but I'm covering it here in my podcast to kind of go through it and provide some more depth to that blog post. So the number one thing is building a quality email marketing list. This should really be your number one priority. If you have a good quality mailing list, a lot of your email marketing headaches go away. And that number that you saw that I quoted earlier from HubSpot, where you generate $42 for every $1, becomes much more attainable for you if you have a quality mailing list. So how do you build a quality mailing list? Well, sign up forms on your website. That's one way to do it. Giving people offers, having gated content where you're offering like a industry inside report or some really cool thing that your audience might enjoy, ebooks, white papers, webinars, just anything that can be gated and people have to submit their email address to access. Now, again, you could get bad email addresses from that, but if you do it well, just ask for first name, last name, and email address, and then ask for some kind of a verification on your email address that they need to, they get a link and then they have to click that link to verify the email. That way, it's a real email address. I think those kinds of features, I know it sounds like a hassle, but really let's build a quality mailing list, meaning people that really do want to access this information, people that really want to stay in touch with you. It helps you downstream because that means you're going to have less unsubscribed, you're going to have less spam reports and that kind of stuff. So sign up forms on your website, gated content on your website. Social media is also a very good way to get email addresses. You can engage with people on social and ask them to sign up for your newsletter to stay up to date. You can ask on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, wherever you are active, TikTok, Instagram, Reels, Snapchat, wherever you're active. You can figure out a way to build an email list. But I can't tell you and stress enough how important it is to have a quality list. Customer loyalty programs is also a great way to get emails from folks, your audience, exclusive discounts, promotions, rewards to customers. Online events and webinars. I think I covered the webinars a little bit, but if you have an online event or a webinar asking people to register and things like that is always a great way to get email addresses as well. Actually, you can also ask your existing subscribers to say, hey, forward this to people that might need this or find it valuable. Medical websites, medical information, maybe, sending information or asking your existing subscribers to forward it over for referrals is also a good way. And then the big thing is making sure that your email is optimized for mobile so that people can easily sign up for your newsletter on their mobile phone and things like that. Don't make it complicated. Don't make it strenuous for them. And then you can always strengthen your email list with marketing automation. You can, send relevant information and just establish that relationship. So we're gonna get into a little bit on some of these other ones. So the first do is build a quality mailing list. The second do is personalize your message. Now, personalization has been around for a while. The platforms that most people use have very basic personalization opportunities and features built in. You can personalize the subject line. You can use the recipient's name or location in the subject line to grab their attention. For example, you could say, John, check out the new products in Salt Lake City or something like that, And then dynamic content, using dynamic content to show different images, text, or offers based on the recipient's interest or behavior. This is going to be dependent on the platform that you're using and how much of the personalization they're going to allow. Obviously, the first one I mentioned, the subject line, and also saying, hey, instead of just saying, dear reader or dear so-and-so or dear customer, you can start your email by saying, dear John, or something like that, So those are basic customizations that a lot of platforms offer. The dynamic content one is going to be a little bit more sophisticated. You're going to have to dive into the platform that you're using to be able to that one. Another way to personalize is to segment your list. I recommend this for a lot of our clients, which is just when you get a new, subscription request, ask them to identify themselves. I'm interested in product X. I'm a referral. I'm a vendor. I'm a well-wisher, whatever it is. That way you can attach those tags and those identifiers to the email address in your platform. And then you can send specific information to them because, let's say you're a veterinary practice and you're sending your veterinary referral doctor. Maybe you have other people that refer your business, sending them the same thing that you're sending your consumer might not be the best thing. So segmenting your list is always a good idea. And then, the more sophisticated the package, the platform, you can personalize offers, you can personalize greetings, you can personalize recommendations and things like that. So the second do, obviously, is do personalize your message. The third do is do craft compelling subject lines. So you've got a good list, you've got good content going out. Now you want to make sure that you capture that attention with the subject line. email campaigns live and die by subject lines. So this is where, we're going to talk about A/B testing in a little bit, depending on how big your email list is. You probably want to do an A/B test on your subject line and just kind of see which kind of subject line works. So sometimes an offer, sometimes an urgent message or something that's timely directly in your subject line can be very compelling to your audience. But do keep in mind that that's also one of the areas where the spam filters are most likely to put you in spam. If you use too much exclamation points, or you have free, sign up now type message, those kinds of language can actually get you caught by the spam filter as well. So you got to read up on what subject lines work, what the guidelines are, and things like that. And then just basically follow those guidelines and make sure that you have it catchy and you have it relevant, but you're not getting caught by the spam filters. Okay. So that's the third do. Now the fourth do is optimize for mobile users. 85% of people accessing emails access it on their smartphone. Think about it. Think about how you get your email, right? It's all on the mobile device. So, there's lots of things that you need, just making sure that the font size, the image size, the headline, everything, is optimized for that small screen size. So a lot of the platforms allow you to do a test and a preview of how your email looks on smartphones, but pay special attention to that. It could make or break your campaign. A lot of folks just stick with basic text messages. I know it doesn't sound exciting. Text-based emails, just to kind of make sure that it's mobile optimized. You may not want to go that extreme, but I do know several people that's all they do, and they say that that's worked for them really, really well. Now, marketing folks and creative folks, they like to, put fancy schmancy stuff on emails and things like that, and that's HTML code usually, and it makes the email, size bigger, and so it's not necessarily always optimized for mobile users. So I think there's a good balance you can find. You're going to need to find that balance for yourself and then go from there. So remember, 85% of people accessing emails access it on their smartphones. So responsive design is crucial for your email marketing campaign. So that was number 4. Number 5 is do create clear and concise content, big chunks of long-winded text, especially, even 5 sentences on mobile can seem like a lot of text. So keep your content concise and clear. Once they've gone past the subject line, once it's optimized and they get to the email, it's got to be valuable for them, man. I mean, I have people that I subscribe to, and there are certain people that I love getting their emails, to be honest with you. I feel like I learned something. I feel like I get a good offer. I feel like I get educated. I love those emails. They've got clear, concise content. They break up the text with headings and bullet points, incorporate visuals that enhance the message. They make it easy for me to understand, or make it easy for your consumer to understand. And then also have a clear call to action on those emails, right? CTA, call to action. Remember that acronym. So create clear, concise content and ask the user to do something. What is it that you want them to do after they receive this email? Be educated, download a white paper, go to an event, attend a webinar, take advantage of this offer, send you a referral. What is it that you want them to do? Because at the end of the day, email is an action-oriented communication medium, right? You're sending an email because you want that audience to do something, right? So anyway, so keep the message clear and the content clear and concise. That's number 5. So now let's go into the negative territory. The don'ts. Number 1 don't is don't overload in inboxes. Sending emails too frequently can overwhelm your recipients, causing many to unsubscribe. So you got to strike a balance between providing valuable information and respecting your audience's time and attention. Avoid sending more than 3 emails a month. Okay. One per month is what I usually advise for our clients, but I did get some feedback from some clients' audience saying, hey, we don't mind twice a month. We don't mind twice a month. So 2 weeks, be consistent. I mean, there's some people that I get emails from on a consistent basis, 10 o'clock Tuesday, every other Tuesday. You can bank on it, you know? So whatever it is that you choose, be consistent. Don't be haphazardous. Don't send an email every week for 3 weeks and then not send one for 5 weeks. That's just haphazardous. It doesn't make sense. It's not going to build any credibility. And so if you decide to send, send one minimum, maximum 2 per month. But again, it depends on your industry. I'm not going to give a blanket rule here. It's going to depend on your industry. So do a little bit of digging, see what the other players are doing, talk to your audience people, see what's comfortable for them, and find a schedule that works for you. Right? So don't overload inboxes is number 6. Number 7 is don't buy or sell email lists. I am not a fan of email lists at all. I've tried those. I've done those. You get marked for spam. You get angry responses back. Your ISP bans your domain. I mean, all kinds of stuff happens if you buy a list. So resist the urge to simply purchase or sell email lists. It may seem like a shortcut to growing your subscriber base, but it isn't. I didn't even buy this particular list. I attended a conference about 2 years ago. I was a speaker, and as being a speaker, they gave me access to all the conference attendees. And I thought, okay, this is great. I'm going to reach out. I didn't do any spam or anything like that. I was just genuinely, wanting to give them an offer for certain things that they might be interested in. And I did a test run, sent 2 or 3 emails, and boy, even that one didn't quite go well. I didn't get a lot of unsubscribes, but I got no responses. There was nothing that I got from it. So anyway, the reason is they don't have a relationship with me. They don't know who I am. I'm just another email that came in. There's no relationship. There's no connection. There's no interest. Even though that might be your audience, they're just not going to want it. So don't buy or sell email lists. Focus on organic methods. I talked about it as the number one thing, which is to build a good email list. So focus on organic methods to grow your email list, such as promoting your content on social and offering incentives like access to exclusive offers and things like that. Number 8 is don't neglect A/B testing. A/B testing can be very helpful. Now, there is a number that you need. I would say you need at least 500 subscribers. You can split it into 250, 250, and then you can get some meaningful data. If you only have 100 subscribers, splitting it into 50-50 may or may not give you good list, good comparison point. You do need data because you have a very small percentage of people that are going to click on it, very small percentage of people that are going to act on it. So if your list is not below a certain threshold, it doesn't make sense to do A/B testing. However, if you do have a list that's, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, maybe even higher than that, it can be very helpful for you to do an A/B split, test one thing. So test 2 subject lines. One group gets one subject line newsletter, another group gets another subject line, letter. And like I said, a lot of these platforms are very sophisticated. They have these things already built in. So you could just follow through on the way that it's built into these platforms and do it. So what you're trying to do here is you're trying to hone in on attributes that would make your email marketing more successful, right? So subject line is one. Another one is time of day. Maybe you want to send or time of week. Maybe you want to send one newsletter on Tuesday at 10 o'clock and you send another one on Thursday at 10 o'clock and see which one gets a better response. So there's all kinds of things you can test. You can test message, you can test time, you can test format, you can test all kinds of things. As long as you do it with the same content and you keep the variables to a minimum. You don't want to test 2 variables at the same time because then you don't know which variable, what is in, you don't want to send, an email A on Tuesday with one subject line and an email B on Thursday at a different time with a different subject line. Now you don't know what made it work. You don't know if the subject line made it work or if the time of day made it work. That's not a real test. So only do one test at a time. And then some things that you could really measure are improved conversion rates, enhanced engagement, increased ROI, open rates, continuous, you can also improve certain things, layout, things like that. So you also need to know what you're going to measure it against. Like if you're going to test subject line, are you going to measure it by open rate, engagement rate, conversion rate? What are you going to measure that by? You could measure it by all of them. I mean, I'm not saying you have to pick one, but you have to kind of define what it is that you want to measure. So that's the number 8, which is don't neglect A/B testing. Now, number 9 is don't use misleading subject lines, right? Clickbait. Nobody likes clickbait. You're going to get unsubscribes. You're going to get complaints. You're going to get marked as spam. Deceptive subject lines can damage your credibility and cause distrust amongst your audience. Always be transparent and accurate in your subject lines to set the right expectations. Maybe sometimes I get this like urgent offer and you read through it and it's just another offer. There's nothing urgent about it, or it's like, oh, okay, this offer is only until end of January, end of February. And then I get the same newsletter like 2 months later saying this offer is only until August, same offer, same thing, but you know what I mean? So there's nothing, it's fake. It's like just a way to design to get my attention, which I mean, we want to get attention, but we want to get it the right way, right? So, and number 10, this is the last one because I made a top 10 list here. So I'm sure there might be more. You could probably expand on these points and turn this into a 20-pointer, but who wants to sit through and listen through 20 points, right? So number 10 is don't ignore regulations. So the CAN-SPAM Act, I think that's from the 90s. This came out when email was, this is one act that came out really fast. I think it came out in 1996. Congress acted on spam email right away. So back when Congress maybe worked. I don't know if it ever worked, but anyway. The CAN-SPAM Act can have some very severe consequences for email providers, and ISPs are very, very quick to enforce these rules. So the CAN-SPAM Act applies to all commercial messages, which the law defines as any electronic mail message, the primary purpose of which is the commercial advertisement or promotion of a commercial product or service, including email that promotes content on commercial websites. The law makes no exceptions for business-to-business email. That means all email, for example, a message to former customers announcing a new product line must comply with the law. So any email message like that needs to comply by the law. So a couple of things to keep in mind. There's a lot of points. You could probably Google the requirements of the CAN-SPAM Act, but the main things for this podcast would be telling recipients your address, put it in the footer. They know where you are. They know where you're located. They have your contact information. They contact you very easily. I mean, you would obviously do that legitimately anyway, but anyway, spammers don't, because they might be sending it from XYZ country. I don't want to name countries, but XYZ country. But anyway, so tell recipients where you're located. And then this is the big one for me, is tell recipients how to opt out of receiving future email marketing from you. That's a big one. So putting that unsubscribe link in the footer, clearly marked. People can click on that. Don't make a fuss. If they don't want to get your email, they're not going to want to do business with you. Don't take it personal. Don't take it, wrong. I've had some people unsubscribe from my email newsletter, and I looked at the report once and I saw some people that I thought really liked me and they unsubscribed, and I was like, oh. But I was like, you know what? They just don't want to, they've got other plans. They got other things. I mean, they probably still like me. They just are trying to simplify their life, And anyway, so tell recipients how to opt out of receiving future email. Don't make it hard. It's annoying to me when you click on that and some people make it hard. They ask you to re-enter your email address. They ask you to choose which communication they don't want to get. And the link to unsubscribe from all is at the very bottom. Anyway, so don't make it hard, make it easy, and also honor that request promptly. Most platforms, once somebody gets an email unsubscribe request, those platforms will mark them permanently. And so for your account, that email is now unsubscribed. So So anyway, there's a lot to the Canned Spam Act. You probably need to Google it and learn more about it. But that's something that you can do on your time. So anyway, so let me quickly summarize and wrap up this podcast. So to summarize, here are the 10 email marketing do's and don'ts. Do build a quality mailing list. Do personalize your message. Do craft compelling subject lines. Do optimize for mobile users. Do create clear and concise content. Don't overload inboxes. Don't buy or sell email lists. Don't neglect A/B testing. Don't use misleading subject lines, and don't ignore regulations. So there you have it, folks. You have all the stuff that you need to get your email marketing on the right, right the ship, do the right thing, and get the $42 for every $1 that you spend on your email marketing. So with that, I'm going to close. But if you have any feedback on this episode, happy to hear from you and include your feedback in future episodes. But until then, happy marketing and enjoy your day. If you're a small business owner, a marketer in a company, or an entrepreneur, this podcast is for you. You'll become better educated and informed when it comes to digital marketing. And if you implement the strategies, tactics, and tools I discuss in this podcast, your business will grow and prosper. To subscribe, go to corneryourmarketpodcast.com. That again is corneryourmarketpodcast.com. You can also search for Corner Your Market in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcast, and you can subscribe through those apps. Also, don't forget to like and share our individual episodes. You can also leave a review. Finally, I would love to hear from you, so if you have any questions, feedback, or general comments about the topics I discuss, feel free to send me an email. I will be sure to share and discuss your feedback on the air if it will benefit our listening audience. You can write to me at connect@corneryourmarketpodcast.com. Just put listener comment in the subject line. That email again is connect@corneryourmarketpodcast.com. Thanks for listening. I look forward to being back next week. Until then, be good and do good.